We're going, doesn't matter. It's fine.
All right, I can roll. Plug it in.
Yeah, let's lower myself to the proper position.
Bring yourself to the ground.
Bloody tech not working.
Though you have to give it like the amount of time we stream, or amounts of time we stream, to how little issues we really have. Knock on wood. It's not that bad.
No,
the beginnings were a little rough around the edges, though. Fuck.
Could be far worse.
Oh yeah.
Welcome everybody. Welcome on YouTube. Welcome on the Twitchies.
It's happening.
What are we doing? Let's see.
A groggy ass day here today. It's freaking raining again.
Yeah, same here. It's bloody awful.
It's good to tuck in with some Lego and stuff.
Make some more flowers.
Yeah, I got one more box to build. And then I'm finished.
Once again, if you haven't done the BNO survey, do that.
There we go. My YouTube is like in freaking 144 pixels resolution is what I'm getting for myself here.
Yeah, YouTube has been weird the last week or so.
Yeah.
I don't know. I follow a bunch of channels and almost nothing of theirs gets recommended.
Really? Are you a premium user or no?
No.
I signed in for YouTube Premium, and I am absolutely
fucking hell!
satisfied.
Since we started differently, lol. I forgot to unmute us for Twitchy McTwitchface.
Third. We haven't already talked about much Twitch other than said good evening and shit. Oopsies.
We're sorry. Go do the survey if you haven't. We were saying that it was rainy, and YouTube has been weird with recommending stuff to watch.
And then I was asking you if you have premium, so you said no. I say ever since I got my premium YouTube, freaking the algorithm actually improved quite a bit. Like I have a lot more interesting shit coming into my YouTubes now. On both Apple TV and the Roku player for my V1. And yeah, I watch Netflix now. Oh, Army of the Dead. Have you seen that movie?
No.
It's from the same director that did the Dawn of the Dead. It just came out on Netflix. Fucking epic, bro. Like, I don't know how much you're into this like zombie shit, but I dig it a lot.
Interesting.
Yeah, it's a really, really well done movie.
Bloody hell.
Black screen better than a blue screen. Had a little bit of blue screen in the beginning.
This is gonna look weird. Oh no, it kept itself. Yay!
It works. So yeah, it's a freaking zombie movie, but it's done by the guy that did the Dawn of the Dead, and it is in Vegas now. It's fucking epic, man. It really is very well done. Sound is very well done. Effects are super well done, and if you've been to Vegas, it's shocking. There's actually now a documentary on the Netflix about it. It's about half an hour long, about how they did shoot that movie, how they made it all. And it is mind-boggling what they had to do in order to get the CGI right.
Yeah, just think about how they used to do that. With like even movies like Alien, iconic ones, where it was all actual stuff.
Oh, fuck. Well, in the first Dawn of the Dead, they they actually won the awards for most what do you call it? Ballistically accurate wound scenes.
Oh, okay.
Like when they had people get shot in the heads and shit. Like they actually had appendages that were on fishing strings, and they would rip them out off the actors' heads, so they actually looked like chunks of skull were blown out of the fucker heads. It was done very well, and this is
Yeah, they're just in green rooms half the time.
in like if you look at the documentary that they shot after, a lot of the stuff was actually done in somewhere in Mexico or New Mexico, obviously like on a desert, right? And some like most of those scenes were like what the actors were touching and walking with were real. Other than there's a
What
few
they
CGI
hired the
shit.
cartels to make some props.
Probably. Oh God. But yeah, that was a good show. I watched it day before yesterday. Yeah, I watched Shaft, the new one, yesterday. That's with Samuel L. Jackson. That was
Yeah,
fucking funny.
I like that movie.
But the new one, not the old one.
What the
It just came out on Netflix like a week ago. I forget what the heck. It's Shaft. Like it's Shaft, and then he's got his son. He finds out not finds out. He has a son, and son finds him, and then they go for this big thing, all three together.
Oh,
Yeah,
because there is a like this
Like,
older one
old
that's
old school. Yeah.
well. It's weird because there's an old school Shaft from like the 1980s or 70s or something like that.
Yes. Yeah.
And
That's the
that
one I
dude
have
is
in
still
mind.
alive. That's the dude on the right here.
Mm-hmm.
And then there was a reboot with Samuel L. Jackson. I guess they did another movie now then.
Yeah, with the newer one, that's his son on the very left. Yeah. That's Samuel. That's well, they're all called fucking John Shaft, right?
Uh-huh.
So yeah, that's from the three generations of Shafts now. So there's gonna be probably another movie coming out with the younger guy fucking up shit because it was pretty well done. I actually did like it. Very good music too, obviously, and so acoustically it was very well mixed. I don't know why the fuck are we reviewing movies, but I guess that's just it's a summary of what you do over a May long weekend in Canada, unless you're retarded and you go out fucking camping right now, which is honestly for an Albertan, it's a badge of honor and a rite of passage when you have to at least at some point of your life here in Alberta at least wake up with your tent 6 inches from your fucking nose, snowed in.
Why?
That's just. Because that's just a rite of passage, man. Just like, it's better than sticking your hands in the fucking glove full of fire ants like they do in Africa and shit. I'll take 6 inches. I'll take a foot of snow. I don't care.
Yeah.
I've lost my beer in the snow. Like, yeah, when we went camping. I don't understand how people still go long weekend camping. And actually, the first long weekend in 23 years that I lived in Canada that was good. Was the fucking lockdown of last year. Nobody could do anything. Like it was just like gorgeous weather, no rain, no nothing, no snow. Like it was just consistent. Like it was 21 degrees, whatever. And yeah, it went to shit.
Question:
Right
since
on.
you like Family Guy, do you actually like the Family Guy Star Wars versions?
No, I never watched those.
Really?
No.
Because they went through a hell of an ordeal to even be allowed to make it. Because
Really?
initially they were going to be sued left, right, and center for even having music that sounds like it. And it's like a IP theft to go Han Solo.
Oh, yeah, no, I don't. I've never watched it.
I mean, it's to
I
the
watched
point
most
where
of the
like
Family,
people
yeah.
have to be creative and go, "I'm Hans Olo."
Oh, God.
Hello, I'm Hans Olo.
From Switzerland? Oh, man. Yeah, no, I never seen those. I never seen the Star Wars variant of the Family Guy.
They're worthwhile. I like them. They just fuck with the original story the whole time.
Oh, I'm certain it's a parody as hell, right?
Yeah, but it's one of the few apparently parodies where Lucasfilm was like, Yeah, we're not going to sue you into the ground. That's okay. We like what you're doing.
It is funny though. Like Family Guy humor is hilarious. It's borderline crazy at sometimes or some points.
The fucking chicken fights.
Oh God, and the evil monkey and shit.
Yeah,
I,
that
I I
turns out
like
to be not
Brian. I
so.
like Brian and Stewie when they on their shit when they're doing whatever their adventures. But yeah, it's fun times. But this I'm not a big Star Wars fan. I used to watch them back like when I was a kid, but yeah, I never really fell for it. I was actually like really mad at Lego that they started doing Star Wars, but I'm like, at the end of the day, if I was Lego, I'm like, fuck, why not, dude? That is melons you can make off of it, franchise or not, right?
Yeah.
The Lego has now a lot of Star Wars sets, if you think about it.
Oh yeah, you have one of the biggest sellers probably the Millennium Falcon, and then you have the
Those
Star
are crazy. I don't
Destroyers.
know who buys that shit. That it's like a meter long sculpture, and here you go, bud.
I
15,000 pieces.
I would if I had the place to put it somewhere.
Well, that's exactly it. Like, I have basically committed Lego room, but if I put that here, it takes up a whole table, right?
Hmm.
Like it's that big.
Well, I've seen people hang it and whatnot.
Mm. I don't know. I like the Technic sets more than anything. They're more fun. I remember my first Lego Technic set was I forget the model number, but it was the forklift back in probably 85. Yeah, this is crazy.
I
That
mean, this is
full
the
detail.
inside when you take the top off.
I know the inside is crazy detailed. Put it full screen, or your computer don't do that.
No, it's Google. Does oh, it's Pinterest. This
Oh yeah.
where I'll get you a better picture.
Fucking Pinterest, man. Those are crazy though. I don't think that's a. Is that an actual official set?
Yeah, yeah.
Or this is a mock?
No, no. I think this is the set as it comes. Unless what is the Titan Creations?
I don't think that's an official set, dude. Like that's way too detailed for how Lego builds stuff.
Hmm.
But I might be wrong.
I mean, it is
But
kind of
that's an
cool.
insane set, dude. Like that is an insane set. Yeah, that's something that I would put on the wall uncovered like that so you can actually gaze at all the interior and shit in it. That's insane. I wonder how heavy that is. That's gotta be probably at least like 4 or 5 kilos of plastic.
Oh, easy. Like downstairs, there's a Lego store, and they have one of those giant Star Destroyers in it,
Hmm.
and it's like 1.5 meters long at least.
Yeah, that's the big. Well, they're all gray, but I know what you're saying.
Yeah, but
Well,
it's
no,
also like
that's
it's
all
like
gray.
this tall.
Are they even standing upright?
No, no, it's like it floats. So the front of the ship is here and the back is here, but from the table it's like this high.
Yeah, I've seen that. I wonder who buys those sets.
Apparently, Star Wars people.
Yeah, or people in Brick Bay where you just buy the set and part it out.
Uh,
I bought a shitty coffee, bro. I don't know what was the thing. Well, I didn't know that it was that, but I bought, and stupid me, I didn't know the coffee bean. So I bought like 5 sleeves instead of just one, because why not? And it's kind of ugh. It's kind of very ugh, actually.
I mean, this is the. I think this is the small one. They have a bigger one.
I think that's it. Look at the freaking minifig on it.
Yeah,
That's messed up.
because that's next to a dude, and also here.
Yeah, that's the official set. 35,000 pieces. Well, that's not an official set. What this guy is, he's taking it to the next level. Oh, the Beyond the Brick. Aren't we gonna get popped on the YouTube for this?
Yeah, but it's short. So, dude, why don't you have any of your thumbnail anywhere in this?
That's stupid. Oh yeah, he just goes across the whole thing and takes it apart as they go. Yeah, that I've seen that video actually from Bricklink or Beyond the Brick, but
Yeah, this is probably the best view.
yeah, there's no way that is an official set, dude. That's one of those Lego shows.
But I have, like, I literally see this just about every day. It's down in the Lego shop. And it's not just some toy shop that sells Lego. It's an official Lego shop.
Mm-hmm.
And there's one of these in the window. And it's fucking enormous.
Yeah, but that's not this set, though. I guarantee you. Because that's the creator of that is basically the dude in the green shirt. Lego wouldn't put out a 35,000 piece set, dude. There's no way. See, that's the official set. That's a huge box. The box is the size of basically my entire little string table here.
It's also $700. Jesus.
Yeah.
Yeah, okay.
That's the one you want, buddy. Except all cookies just necessary. All necessary cookies.
I don't want more Danes tracking.
Oh, God. Yeah, this is... How many pieces does it have? Yeah, for almost 5,000. 4874 or 4784.
Where do you see it?
Bottom. Right where your mouse is.
Oh, there.
Yeah. So, yeah, like I said, they would not do a 30,000 piece or whatever that nonsense number was on that. That's messed up. Like, this is already 4,000, 5,000 pieces is a lot, man. Like, that lever digger is 31 or 3,200 pieces. And that's a significant model. That's probably, well, it is the biggest. So far, it's the biggest model that Lego has. And I'm waiting for the, yeah, those are like some cool details in those things. This summer is going to be freaking awesome for Lego.
Why?
Well, they got a couple huge sets. I was watching YouTube leak videos and stuff. They don't really have the pictures, but there's a Mercedes Atrox coming. And then there is the Caterpillar Bulldozer. And then there's one more set that's coming out. They don't have those. They wouldn't show them yet. They're coming in August. August and October are the release dates for those.
Wait, so they have one discontinued Saturn V and then... Oh, this is nearly 2,000 pieces as well.
Yeah, that's the one that, well, I guess all of us have, except you.
Yeah, I still kind of wanna get it.
Get it, man. You can build it with Megan. It's gonna be a fun experience.
I just kind of don't know where to put it, where it's safe from the cats at the moment.
Oh yeah, because they would fuck with it. And this thing would come into, like, it would go to pieces, as many pieces as that rocket actually breaks up in real life. Yeah, and these look pretty powerful.
Well, it's to the point of we have had to start taking stuff down from like side tables and cabinets because they found new ways of getting onto other things, and then they start to throw stuff off, and it's like, for crying out loud, we can't have nice things.
No, this set, like, you can actually, that little lunar module does fit inside the tip of the rocket.
Yeah, that's cool.
Yeah, so you don't have to have it out.
That's what she said.
Right, and then you got extra astronauts, which I don't know where I've put. I don't know. I got a couple dudes, but I don't know where they went. Yeah, so that's a fun model. It was fun model, and while I was building it, because it is an insane amount of pieces as well for a creator set, I guess.
It's
Was
also quite
watching that
tall.
and watched all the YouTube documentaries about the rocket, which was pretty fucking cool too. So you learn about it as you build it. It's a very interesting building techniques though on that rocket.
Yeah, I may get it. I mean, it's like our cats, for some reason, love photo frames to rub up on. So whenever we have like a photo out or whatever, it's like, oh, and then clunk. It's like,
Oh,
God damn it.
get heavier frames.
uh, Winston has taken to knocking the like speakers on in the office over, which are like small creative lab speakers.
Hmm.
But the master speaker is like 6-7 pounds, and he just knocks it over. So those would be enormously heavy photo frames.
Yeah, I see that. But yeah, the cats, man, dogs are dumb. They don't jump around and shit like that. Well, they'll chew shit out of your stuff, but I don't
Yeah,
think they.
but they don't climb. Cats do climb. Which is, do you get a little moon with it?
No, no moon.
I
I
wonder.
saw one guy actually had it hanging. I don't. I think it was on Instagram because obviously like everything that listens to me in the house, so then I get ads and shit cater to it. There's one guy that actually had it displayed in as it's breaking up. I would do that too and put the freaking buy the A9 with the moon from Skinny Play cover and and put a little magnet and put the lunar module on the fucking A9.
Yeah. Yeah.
We've landed.
I mean, if there's some way to get like some fishing string in here and hang it, that would probably be fine.
I thought about it. I do have fishing string to hang it with, and I have like really, really thin and clear one. But I don't know where I would put it.
Oh
Like
yeah,
somewhere here.
I have a few yards, well, miles probably of fishing string. So
Yeah, that's a sick model though. But yeah, like I said, I'm looking forward to the Technics. Technics fun.
uh, I also like the space shuttle. That's kind of cool.
I have a space shuttle, but I have the old. The fucking thing is very expensive apparently now on eBay. Come on down, buddy. But I have the old Technic space shuttle.
Mm-hmm.
Just put this away. So, and yeah, this one is worth a gold if it's unopened. So it's got this fiber optic crap in it that was revolutionary for its time. I don't have the batteries in it anymore, but there's a micro motor which was also very. It's a super rare little red module there.
Mm-hmm.
So that opens the solar panels when the Canadarm comes up because the hatch is open. It has the function transmission there, right?
Mm-hmm.
So yeah, it's a pretty sleek model. And I tell you what, let me just put it back. But the new one is obviously now the leg was more detailed, so it's cooler looking. But I think is it the Creator ones that has the Lego Creator that has that's the new space shuttle from or by?
Let me see. It's NASA's, yeah, Creator.
Yeah. Goofy thing is that the fucking thing the satellite doesn't fit inside it. Well, it does, but you have to take off the solar panels. It's a little silly. Well, yeah, because obviously, like these would be some super thin ass fabric-y type of whatever, right? That extends
Yeah.
them. So there is really nowhere to put it.
Is it me, or was the cockpit a bit more streamlined in real life? I don't remember it being this like abrupt an angle. It almost looks more like an old Boeing than it does like the space shuttle to me.
Well, but that's a different generation because they had a few renditions of those shuttles, right?
Mm-hmm.
So then they had a couple of them had a different design. But that is a nice model.
Was it the Hubble or something that's supposed to be represented?
I think so. Cause see, like if you there's a picture of it with the folded. I think it's one up that you can fit the solar panels in, I believe, in a certain way. Or no, they're not there. I don't think. I can't see them really. It's a nice model though.
I guess Callum is a flat earther.
All right, on, buddy.
So what's the shape like? I'm still not clear on
What flat Earth is?
Yeah, is it? Yeah, because it means different things to different people. Like some people say the Earth is tear shaped, and the others say it has an ice rink around it, and so like not all flat earthers think the Earth is the same shape.
You know what my like when it comes to physics of it, right? If you think the Earth is flat, then wouldn't the gravity be less further away from the center of the Earth you are? You know, just like when if you take a sheet of paper and you put metal shavings right on top of it, and then you stick a magnet from under, it's not going to cover the whole fucking paper. It's just going to make a mound where it is the most, right? And then, you know, if you tilt the paper, it'll spill off. So that's one question. How the fuck do you explain tides, really, right?
I don't know. This is not my area of expertise.
Well, you brought it up, motherfucker.
I blame Callum. Like,
yeah, I don't know. I don't know.
If the fucking Arabs, like 2,000 years ago, got within 20 miles of the circumference of the Earth, you can pretty much be sure it's fucking round.
I'd say.
I mean, they
I
literally...
think those people like are true believers of like the Truman Show or whatever. That you know there is a wall at the end of somewhere, something, but you don't go past that anymore. I don't know. I don't like. I watched. I think it was Joe Rogan that had a couple flat Earth theory people on his podcast.
Of course he did, because he has everybody on.
And that shit was pretty interesting and funny. Like how these people are so hell bent and convinced on such illogical things to me, right? Like I don't know if my beliefs are fucked, but I just
Why?
I don't know,
But
man.
you can fucking test this. This is literally how like in the Middle East, there were some Arab scholars, right? They were basically the godfathers of current mathematics, and they put some sticks in the earth at the same height, and they looked over and they saw the curvature, and from that they calculated the circumference of the earth. You can still do that. They did that in the fucking sand dunes, and they were like 20 miles off of what it really is.
That's crazy.
I mean, they didn't actually go around all the earth and measure. They just took a giant patch of land and put some sticks
Fucking
down.
dude, just step in one in front. It's gonna be a while, especially on the ocean.
Well, if you're Jesus, you keep on walking.
That's right. I mean, they must have used Jesus for the ocean part to survey that because he could walk on water.
I mean, so, but you can still do that test, so to say. You can still calculate it that way. So, I mean, I find it hard to believe that the Earth is not flat for literally simple reasons like that.
Yeah.
I mean, how the hell does a spirit level work if the Earth is flat? Because then because there's that radius, right? The bubble would always be in the radius. Or you wouldn't need it, because it's always in the middle if you have it level.
I like where this is going. It's nowhere, really.
No.
Oh God. But yeah, I don't know. I don't know. I'm lucky enough that I haven't met a person that believes the Earth is flat, other than like these internet people. You know what I mean? Just like I haven't really seen like the people of Walmart like in real life, other than those memes and shit. Because I guess we're not as inbred redneck here to like dress up in freaking tidy whities or whatever and put heels on as guys and fucking go shopping in Walmart.
Well, go to America. That's where you see the people of Walmart.
I don't. That's like the next level of I'm not giving a fuck about myself at all. Like I don't know. I have a little bit of self-respect, and I guess you want to present yourself a certain way too, right?
Well, I blame the left because they started saying big is beautiful and that sort of thing. So now people of Walmart are like supermodels.
They're coming out of the woodwork like the zombies.
Yeah. I mean, if you can't body shame, like people of Walmart are beautiful.
Oh, God.
I mean, I could also take you to the UK for that matter. I know some places in the UK where like every other person has like a gut that is more or less laying on their legs.
See, that's too much.
I mean,
for moi. Too much.
When my grandfather was alive, this was like, 8 years ago. He had some sort of infection on his leg or something. I forget what it was about, but there was some dude there at the doctor, and
storage lab.
Literally, his gut was about that far from his knees.
That's fucked up.
Yes, and it wasn't like one of those puffy fat persons. It was like literally loose, and it was like a very thick,
like a waterbed fucking.
Yes, it was, and that's how it moved around, and it was like, oh dear Lord, I understand why you're at the doctor, but like, oh, please help yourself. This is not good.
That is good. Read that out loud on Twitch, dude.
Trogdor says, I've talked with a guy at work that is a flat earther. He also believes giants are still living in Afghanistan and killed a team of Navy SEALs. It's wondrous to listen to.
I would love to talk to that guy. Holy fuck.
But what do you mean by giants? Just really tall people, or do you mean like 7 Shaquille O'Neal showed up? Or do you mean like 30-foot people?
To kill a team of Navy SEAls. Holy shit. Well, he must have been really big if he did that. Jesus Christ. Oh God. No, don't shove him in. It'll fuck up the batch of metal, dude. He ain't worth it. Oh, that is just the funniest thing I heard today. Oh my God. Flat earther believes this of that. Wow. 12-foot tall giants from biblical times.
12-foot. You know what you should ask him, right? 12-foot giants. Let's say they were real, and let's say it was actually Navy SEALs. Fuck it. Let's go all in on this. How did they kill the Navy SEALs? Because are they bulletproof?
That's what I was wondering. Like, they must have been either really big, because 12-footers...
That's a grizzly bear. A grizzly bear standing on his hind legs is 12 feet.
Ate them. Well, they must have been sound asleep.
But even so, like, surely somebody wakes up at some point and go, wah, wah, or some guy going, oh, my leg.
Well, I think the first thing you would do if something would just chow down into your thigh, you would be like, fuck, right?
Yeah.
Maybe grab a rifle and shoot a few rounds into something, but, like, you wouldn't just sit there quietly.
No, I mean, it's not like we're unable to kill bears, and when a grizzly bear stands up, that's also something like 12 foot tall. I
Maybe
mean,
the
and even if
giant.
you say, yeah, like, but they're super strong. Do you know how strong a fucking grizzly bear is? Like, they swat moose and break their back. And you're talking
Oh,
about
one
like
swat they can take a head off. I've seen fucked up videos of it.
yeah, I mean, we're talking about like 1,000 pound animal that gets swatted by another thing that then is like disabled and dies from
Yeah.
something doing that. It's like holy
Well, the
fuck.
fucking talons or whatever on this, not talons, just the claws on the bear.
Yeah.
Fuck. Oh man,
Yeah, that is some rabbit hole.
that's for goddamn sure, dude. Yeah. Maybe those giants were like the Italian mafia mob. Some with, they run around with pillows and just fucking. Some- I don't get it,
I mean,
but
there were sickos like that in like the special operations units in World War II that were fucking scary like that. I think they were called Red Devils or something, or maybe the Germans called them that. But they were these commando troops, sort of Navy SEAL type dudes, right? And in the night, they would sneak up on German positions, and they only carry knives. The thing was, they were so sneaky and so quiet that the dude that was asleep and the other guy was holding watch, they'd like slice his throat, and unbeknownst to the dude sleeping, they put like a sticker on their helmet saying, "You're next." So the
fuck
dude
me.
woke up with like his buddy dead next to him, which he didn't hear. Take his helmet off, and it's like, "You're next. Don't sleep again."
It's a good way to fuck with people. It's
Yeah.
terrible. Speaking of combat, I finally got my pants. The real Cry Precision. my These are gonna be my new install pants. These are wicked.
Yeah, those look nice. Those like you could look like you could sort of plop down on your knees and not destroy your knees immediately.
Well, that's exactly it. And the problem is that a lot of the stuff. Well, I have two sets of these now. I have one with the exposed kneecaps or knee pads, and the other ones that are built in. And the built-in ones I usually bring on. Well, not I just bring them all the time to job sites because you always end up on your knees somewhere behind the TV or a Blu-ray digging up something, right? And these are more or less for the rough construction because you are gonna be drilling into floor plates and shit. So it's good to have knee protection.
Oh yeah. Like the,
Fucking expensive though, man. $560 for a pair of pants with the goddamn knee pads. But they came in
but
fucking
you
earlier
kind
than
of
I
think
thought.
they're gonna last a long time, right? It's not like,
Well,
oh,
they
these
are
are
like
done
they
in
have
a year.
they have features that I'll never use. Like they're obviously fire resistant, or flash fire resistant. So it's not like I'm gonna walk through fire and not burn. But they're flash fire resistant and also coated with against IR. So you are less reflective in night vision goggles and shit, obviously, which I'm never gonna use. But the styling and the cuts on those, like they're very good for obviously doing whole kinds of shit, not just standing straight up. And that's exactly what I do because I'm always in some awkward ass position behind something or over top of something or carrying something. So these are gonna be. I'm looking forward to it. Hopefully the cables show up this week.
Evening, fellow
And
flat Earth.
that's right. Hopefully the cables show up this week, and I can run to Edmonton and wire up that house. And yeah, shit. Wednesday's gonna be 5 years since my accident. May 26th. Crazy times. Can't believe it's been 3 years since I've been doing BNO without BNO being BNO officially involved with BNO.
Well, you managed it somehow.
Well, I think I managed it pretty well considering that I'm not supported by them at all. But I guess the YouTube helps to vent on. And
Sandeep, if you want to
Yeah, if you want to pop in, come on in, man.
Well, I'll give you a ring that way.
I'd like to hear your opinion on the flat Earth, motherfucker.
Which shape is the Earth?
Oh God.
Where are you? Sorry, I have to.
He's got to concentrate.
No, like obviously S is all the way down in the alphabet, so it's like holy fuck, where is it?
But it's before W or my last name, I guess too. Is there an interesting story why Willie is not interested in interact with BNO anymore? Well, the story is not really interesting. It's a little bit of echo.
Evening, Sandy. Hold on, I'll get you.
Happening.
Hang on. Can you see me?
Oh yeah.
Yes.
There you go. What's happening?
What's happening? It is end of the world weather outside.
What is that? So it's good raining? Oh, it's windy as shit too. Look, the dude had his mask blown away.
I don't know what your spring has been like, Mike.
Same as yours. We always have the same weather. It's just usually a day behind.
Absolute rubbish here. Absolute rubbish.
No, here it's not bad. Well, it's raining, but it's only 8 degrees, so it's not bad. I know for y'all it's 80 degrees. 8 degrees is like, oh Christ. Better put some wood in a fire pit. Pussies. I wear shorts above zero, man. I don't fuck around.
My threshold for wearing shorts is very low. I wear them pretty much all the time. But it's fucking disgusting outside. And the dog spends 2 hours in the woods every morning.
He loves it.
And then
he loves it.
Then I can't let him back in the... When we come home, he can't come into the lounge.
Because he's just freaking mud pit.
Yeah, because he's got long hair. You'll like find sticks and twigs in his
leaves
hair,
and pine needles and shit.
Yeah, all that crap.
I used to have 3 border collies, man, and I lived right beside the woods, so I know exactly how much comes out of a dog when you let it run around for a while. Do you have a problem with ticks or no?
No, he's medicated against all of that. So far,
fully vaxxed, fully vaxxed dog.
he said he's up for his annual dose soon. But he's discovered his new favorite trick, which is somewhere there's a part of the big woods where the rangers leave like a big pile of hay where the horses wee and poo.
Uh-huh.
And he's never been... Mike, did you ever grow up with dogs? I don't know, but some dogs like rolling in fox poo.
That's kind of what I imagined, and it's not pleasant.
Some dogs like rolling in fox poo. He's never been a fox poo roller. And he's pretty obedient, because he runs around off lead.
Fox poo roller.
Oh my God. The pile of hay is his favourite place. I was on the phone yesterday, and then I found him rolling around in the pile of hay, and I called his name. He looked up to me like, what?
That's funny.
It's gross. Anyway.
Well, I guess the good thing is we don't have foxes here.
Don't you have lots of urban foxes?
The only time I've ever seen a fox is in the UK or in a zoo.
Oh man, they're everywhere here.
I know. Well, you stopped allowing them to be killed, so they got everywhere.
They're quite fun.
We have a little bit of foxes here, but there's coyotes are here predominantly. Coyotes.
Right. Okay.
Not even as much wolves, but coyotes are. Fuck, you can see them. There's coyotes that get hit inside the city on a highway.
Do you ever hear them at night?
Not over the sirens usually. No, I'm too close, but when we used to live, like when I lived in Auburn Bay, which was the very, very outskirts of the city, and 10 years ago when we bought that house, like that was absolutely nothing. behind us, around us. It was just a big hospital they were building. Oh, you could hear him there.
So there's a family of foxes that spend the night in our gardens every night.
Mm.
And they're quite funny. I mean, it's hell for the garden staff because they chew through cables and this, that, and the other. But they come in. They check in. It's like their hotel. They check in at 10 o'clock every night.
That's funny.
And they stay. If I wake up in the morning and open the balcony door, at 6:30 in the morning, when the gates start opening, people come out the gardens.
Yeah.
They check out.
That's funny.
It's incredible. So right now they'll be on the high street, all the restaurants putting out all their rubbish. They'll be gathering all their bones, and then they check in.
That's funny. Animals are way smarter
There's a fucking
than
drumming band outside somehow.
Where? Outside yours?
Yeah, it's like, what the fuck's going on? I don't understand.
There's a drumming band.
What is going on?
Yeah, I don't know. Or either that or fireworks, but like weak fireworks.
God, it's horrible here. So one of my builders, my mum's handyman that I used to use a lot, he was round like a few years ago doing some odds and sods, and he knows me, and he turns round. He's like a big gamer, but he plays League of Legends, which I'd never heard of until he explained it to me. Big gamer. And then he turned around to me in the middle of like painting. I was having a cigarette break, and he's like, Sandy, have you read all this flat Earth stuff? I was like, oh no. He's a really nice guy, but I was like, oh no.
So what shape is it? Is it round? Is it like teardrop shape? Do we have an ice wall? What's the consensus? I don't understand.
The thing is, he's a nice guy. He's really skilled at doing loads of things, painting, decorating, electrician, electronics, home automation. He's a really smart guy. I had to take him in the car once he finished here to one of my mum's places, and then he was trying to persuade me. And I don't have any time for this shit. I'm sorry. I do not have any time for this shit. I was like, Did
you hear him out? Did you hear him out at least?
No, I was like, read other stuff on the internet, not that.
Like cryptocurrency.
read other stuff.
Wow, I'm shocked that people like believe in that kind of nonsense. Like, how the fuck do you even think that in today's day and age? You know what I mean? Like, there's satellites orbiting and shit around the Earth, man.
It's all conspiracy, man.
Yeah, I mean, I'd have more sympathy with someone believing a Kennedy conspiracy than the flat Earth. I mean,
like, you can see the fucking space station fly over. Like, there are certain times of the year where you can see it fly directly above our city. And it is big enough that you can actually with binocs, you can clearly see it. You don't even need a telescope.
Oh, wow.
The moon is a projection.
It's a laser projection.
That's why it's out every month, because they have to upgrade the HD def.
How do the flat earthers deal with the what happens at the edges of this flatness?
They supposedly, from what I've listened to a few, and then like after 10 minutes I go, I can't take this anymore. But from what I gathered in those first 10 minutes, there's supposedly an ice wall you can't go over.
It's like an end of a map in a level.
Yeah, like Game of Thrones sort of.
Oh, well, there you go. It suddenly makes sense.
You just bounce into it and look up. It's fucking infinitely high, and you just gotta go back.
You're one of those NPCs that just keeps doing that when you're at the edge.
in the one spot.
Yeah,
oh god, like I can't explain the silliness of it all, right?
But the surprising thing is not, to me, the surprising thing, and you see that a lot of journalists write about it, it's not the spread of conspiracy theories or what used to be known as like the few conspiracy theories, Kennedy, moon landing. It's not so much the spread. It's just even. It's not just the least educated people that believe them.
No.
There are, for want of a simplicity, there are some more, let's not say highly educated, but there's some middle class, middle educated people, plenty of them that believe stuff they read.
Sure, there's also highly educated people that believe.
Yeah.
Which to me, that is mind blowing. That like, how the fuck do you believe that?
What do you find it mind blowing? I don't come across any. Most of my friends are a bit more sensible, but I came across a lady when I was walking the dog a year ago out on the heath, and I live in a pretty nice area, and it was quiet, early stages of lockdown, so it was ghost town, only people out walking the dogs. And I was chatting to a dog walker who I know, and then this other lady, and she started trying to persuade me about COVID 5G conspiracies.
What, so you're gonna get a better reception and shit?
Well, you know, there's people that believe COVID is a
that it's the 5G fucking whatever, right?
The towers, the masts.
The masts are doing that.
And what was astonishing, I mean, she didn't look like her. She looked like she was a little bit from out of the area, let's say. She had a little bit of a slightly edgy look in her face. Slightly.
Had a little bit of Karen in the eye.
But what was astonishing, she said to this other dog walker who I know, who's a young girl, just a beginner, she's like, I don't believe this COVID stuff. And then I was like, what do you mean? And I'm not in the place where I'm going to stand around arguing with people. There's no, as you know, there's no point.
No.
She said, she shrugged her shoulders. It was her mannerisms that was stunning. She shrugged her shoulders and she said to me in this dog walker, she goes, environmental factors. I was like, what do you mean? She goes, 5G. At which point I sighed. I was like, oh, you've got to be kidding. I was like, there's been coronaviruses around for thousands of years of different sorts, I guess. And she was like, look. She was like, look. She was like, look. She goes, you obviously. She goes, I suggest you go do some reading. I was like, you suggest I do some reading? I didn't say that to her. I was like, I can't. And it actually physically upset me. It physically upset me, and
you know what?
That's what 5G does to you.
Right. You were within the range, brother. you got full bars.
I got my phone and chucked it in the river.
But no, like, you know what? When it comes to those like radio frequencies and all that shit, as far as conspiracies, not that I believe or don't believe, I do believe that the current radio emission that we have, that never been around like that, 150 years ago, if it has influence on anything, in my opinion, it has influence on fucking insects. Because if you walk around in the field, like here, I remember, when I was a kid, you could actually, there was, grasshoppers and shit was, chirping in the grass. There's not much of it going on.
They're gone. Yeah, I'm sure
they're gone.
There may be some. I mean, how long have we had, mobile internet? I guess everywhere.
Well, if your radio signal is sufficiently strong, there's a reason there's like fences around it.
Yeah, but if you believe that government injects Bluetooth chips in you to fucking track you, dude, that is a little bit off the hook.
It's the best chip because it only works up to like 15 meters. That's why there's so many people, like everybody's following everybody.
Maybe they're like mini Apple AirTags. They all talk to each other. Like a matrix.
That's right.
I mean, why would you need a chip inside you if you carry your phone around? Anyway.
Because then you can walk up to a TV like that and cast to it.
Yeah. That'd be quite cool. That would be cool.
Right?
Anyway,
the whole 5G thing, the only thing I kind of think is odd about it is that it's all Chinese made, and we know they're not the most pleasant people when it comes to like spying and whatnot.
But okay, like when you talk about 5G, like how far different 5G from the cell towers network it is than the 5G that you currently have in your routers? How big is the difference in the frequencies when they're all like they're calling them 5 gigahertz, right?
Yeah, but 5G is not necessarily 5 gigahertz.
That's very different.
Oh, it's a 5th generation, I guess.
It's very. There's two types. There's two types of mobile 5G. There's the ultra shortwave and there's another one, but they're very different to what you have at home.
I mean, what I'm more annoyed by is that the current 5G has, in a technical manner, does very little for phones, because the towers don't handle the same amount of traffic in terms of nodes as in people walking around with phones. So you need a lot more of them to have the same sort of network spread. And the speed you get is still mostly only line of sight. As in, like, you need to roughly see where the tower is to get the most speed out of it. Which, to my thinking, is like, it's not economical. As in, like, why don't you put, like, 20% more 4G towers around and everybody has better internet speed on their mobile devices?
Yeah. Well, but the 5G is only effective, really, in highly populated and dense areas where they can get away with these antennae. Because you're not going to have, like, in Canada, there's no fucking way that you're going to have 5G coverage all the way from Calgary to Edmonton.
No way.
Like, they're just going to, like, 300 kilometers of, like, just light up freaking antennae, and they have to be apart how far? At least, at the most 100 meters, if not closer?
That's with 4G. But with one of the 5G technologies, so for the millimeter shortwave stuff,
yeah.
Imagine you're in central Toronto, for example. But
yes.
They need to put those antennae everywhere.
Yeah.
So that's what Mike's saying. You know, like in Manhattan at the moment, you see these guys do these tests where they basically can be standing 30 meters from the mast, and then with line of sight, and they go, "Oh, look at these insane speeds." And then they literally walk a meter round the corner, and it's gone.
Done.
Gone completely. So they need to build a matrix of those, and so for the millimeter shortwave stuff, that's only possible. It's only going to happen in cities in the center of cities. It's years away for even like the suburbs of cities.
I think that the next idea that they should, well, if I were to be in this, like, you know, Big Brother, whatever conspiracy thing, why not install the 5G antennae directly into the fucking IP cameras for the outside? So now you have surveillance, security, and coverage for your Wi-Fi.
I guess, but like, this is for mobile carriers. Like this, like 5 gigahertz is not the same as like 5G, as we just said.
No, like I'm saying, like install the 5G antennae, like, you know, into the like, you know, surveillance cams. Like in London, you have a lot of surveillance cams. You can upgrade those with the 5G transmitters
they need
and receivers.
They need to be connected to the network.
Well, they're already connected by hardwire, anyways, by some sort of an Ethernet cable.
Oh, I see.
But that's a must, because it's a reason that it's CCTV, because if it's a wireless signal, somebody can hack into it. Like, it's not likely, because it's most likely going to be encrypted.
No, you don't understand. Like, just use like, put antennae in the cameras and use them as repeaters only. Like, you know, as a mesh network repeaters. They have nothing to do. Like, you would suck the power out of a PoE per se to the camera to you know, power your fucking camera, but you can also power up your.
They use quite a bit more energy than the PoE can do,
I guess.
I mean, you're going to have a camera with, like, a heatsink that's twice as large as the camera.
Fan on it. Pigeons shitting in it.
I mean, also...
There he is.
He's like, 5G? What are we doing? No.
What are you doing?
This means he's hungry.
I mean, yeah, I don't know. We're not even done 4G yet. Really.
How's the coverage? So the 4G coverage in London, central London is pretty good, but I'm not far from central London, and it's not uncommon for me to like wander into a shop, or I can be out on the heath, on the big park, and it drops down to 3G, and then I can't do anything. So they're trying to sell all these new phones with 5G coverage. I'm like, yeah, I'll see you in 10 years' time.
Yeah, because you're going to walk around like...
Yeah.
Yeah, it's not... Well, the coverage here is basically fine. Also, it's a way smaller country.
Yeah, I guess.
And it's a relatively wealthy country, so, like, the government has an interest in, like, having everybody connected, because what for us is the middle of nowhere is like an hour's drive from a big city.
Right. Okay.
Here
yeah.
in our standard, yeah. If you
Yeah,
wanted
they-
to go to I don't know, even like to go to Bragg Creek, let's just say you're gonna go for like a little picnic park and stuff. It's a 45-minute drive from here, 40 minutes.
And you get decent coverage out there still.
Oh fuck yeah!
Yeah,
me-
it's to the point where like if you double that, we're nearly in Germany from where I am.
Wow.
The thing is,
Yeah, I know. There's coverage mostly on all the roads, other than like if you go through Highway 1. Like if I go to Vancouver, the likelihood of me having coverage in Coquihalla Highway, like in 2,000 meters above ground or above sea, not happening, right? Plus the weather there is just fucked up. But they're getting more and more antennas over there because obviously like there's a lot of accidents that happen there, especially in the winter. People just fucking go off the road, go off the cliffs, and it's not fun. But then it's hard to call for help because you got to drive a certain distance, right, to get to the reception areas. So I was lucky because my accident happened where the reception area actually was still at coverage because there was a little tourist, like a picnic thing, not too far, so they had coverage there.
Speaking of accident, well, we don't speak of accidents, but the road just outside here is a bit of a rat run between like two, and the last couple of years it is swarming with food delivery drivers on the mopeds, and man, do they drive around like it's Super Mario Kart. I mean, it's kind of funny, but also they kind of think they've taken over the roads. Yeah, two of them got squashed quite badly.
As in proper squashed, or like...
So 100 meters down the road, it's kind of like I'm at just off the main high street. So he's obviously got some speed up. He swerved round. A car was parking, so he swerved around it, and he didn't see like a haulage truck coming the other way.
Oh fuck!
So a lady I know lives just outside there, and she was looking out the window, and she was like, oh, she saw it. She was like, oh no! calls the emergency services. They're like, go down. She's like, I don't want to. Someone else on the street kind of also called the emergency services. It's like, yeah. Well, she was still on the phone, and they were like, go down. Any chance he's alive? And she's like, yeah, no, none at all. Yeah, it's pretty bad around here.
That's funny. Yeah, people drive like dicks. There's a lot of Uber drivers here now.
I mean, when was the last time you've been to London? Last time I was there was, 3 years ago, something like that, 2 years ago? And the change between then and 5-6 years ago is enormous with the amount of scooters and people on bikes and whatnot. And the transport is just not made for it. It's not, and people are not adjusted to it at all.
At all. Willie, have you been to Amsterdam?
Oh man, decades ago.
Decades
and
ago.
I don't remember much of it, to be honest.
No, I have hazy memories. But the one time I went with friends and we didn't get horribly stoned, we hired bikes and we rode around and just did kind of like a general touristy kind of thing. And you got like the car is so well, by comparison to London, so well organised in terms of the way the roads work. Mike's going to correct me, but this is relative to London. You got the road, you got the cars, the trams, the cycle lanes, and everything, and it all kind of functions. London never used to have anything but a few hardcore cyclists. Changed about 10, 15 years ago. There's well over 100,000 cyclists per day in London.
Oh yeah, but they cycle like they're here. Like red lights don't mean stop.
Yes.
They just go, and then obviously since there's still lorries around, it's squish.
Squish, yeah.
I mean, here cyclists do the same thing, where red doesn't mean red, but as a driver, you know that cyclists know that they know it's red is not red, so to say.
So I think there's a bit of that learning going on. So what they've been doing in London, Mike, next time you come to London, leave your car outside London. Don't come anywhere near it.
Oh no, I usually go to like Essex somewhere and go by train in.
Get the train. But,
Yeah.
So the cyclists, they started to build like dedicated cycle lanes.
Yeah, we have that
Willie,
shit here too.
But the problem is, Willie, the roads here are not wide. So they're doing it in some of the slightly wider roads that are still not wide. So you're down to roads that you used to be able to drive down quite quickly. You're now like this in your car, kind of, what the fuck happened? So they're prioritising the cyclists, which is fine, I get it, and they need to be safe. So that's going on. The other thing is, for the first time in 25 years, the government has authorised another fibre optic network to be dug.
So it's you have no space.
So there's gonna be
left at
no
all.
fucking road.
No.
Well, at the moment, so they're just finishing up in my area, and they spent a year. They started at the beginning of the pandemic. They spent a year, and I'm sure they haven't quite finished. So my area has been close to undrivable, like in a literal sense.
What I don't understand, like, if you look at, like, I don't know if you've seen the video in Japan, somewhere in the middle of the fucking city, that huge-ass sinkhole that opened up under the intersection, a fucked up whole bunch, and they had to get, like, I don't know, they had it fixed over the weekend, is basically my point.
I mean, they're amazing. They're amazing.
Right? But that was, like, fucking, it's like throwing ants on a sugar, right? It's just, and they just did it. But I don't understand that either, like, here, like, during the lockdowns, dude, there's nobody on the roads. Fix the fucking roads. There's nobody to
we're
annoy.
from the government. We can't work in these dangerous conditions.
Like, fuck.
I mean, what if somebody walks by that goes... and it's like, you can't do that. Like, a car is way safer.
It's just silly, man.
I'm not sure if it's similar. I mean, no one can match Japan, but it's the public works here. The projects are embarrassingly slow. They do get them done, but they are embarrassingly slow. So generally what happens, like, there's a private company laying the new fibre optic to the home network. The private company, they just get permission from each of the local kind of wards or boroughs or councils, and they probably pay them a little bit, and then the council just doesn't do anything. There's no oversight. So they could say, I want my road for a month. Unless, if they get until deep into month 2, the council don't do anything. There's no oversight. That's the embarrassing thing.
Well, I used
There's
to
no
have...
enforcement on scheduling then, I guess, to complete.
Well,
It's terrible.
It's partially that. It's also setting expectations, which all these people that deal with government are very aware of. So I used to have a friend who worked in, like, what you call it, like landscaping for the city, and they had to get rid of like some conifers somewhere, which aren't the biggest trees or plants or whatever category they fall under, and they had a week. Well, he came from the private sector to work for this government contracted business, and he started doing it, and he was done in day 2. Well, everybody got mad at him because it was done too quickly, because that means they lost out on 3 days of pay. So they kicked him off the digger for the next 3 days and just sat there drinking coffee mostly. Because if you can do it this quickly, that means they're going to expect you to do the next job that quickly as well. And
that's right, and you set the standard, right?
We wouldn't want to do that.
So I'm not surprised by that. I've there's a guy I know through dog walking stuff. He runs big construction projects.
Mm-hmm.
Mm-hmm.
So down, Mike, you'll know, on the South Bank, which has become a nice part of London the last 20 years. And he works for a relatively big multinational.
Mm-hmm.
And I get the construction projects. He's running 3 projects on the South Bank at the moment, 3 big builds. And then it's not an easy thing to do. You know, they're digging, they need access to utilities and water pipes and this, that, and the other. And they can't, it's not a perfectly planned with the best will in the world. I said to him, how do you, because we were looking at the shit out here, kind of going, what the fuck is this? Because At one point, a few weeks ago, the broadband guys were digging. There was a water leak. The water services are just allowed to pitch up and start digging, and they blocked the fire engines coming out the fire station.
Yeah, because why not? You don't really need those.
Wow.
So these two sets of roadworks were coming from different ends of my area. Each week they were moving closer and closer and closer until they were like Pac-Man, right, like 20 meters apart.
I mean, as we all know, in London, none of the building cladding is flammable at all. So you don't need the fire department.
You don't need any of that. What microphone are you on, Mikey? Are you on the...
This one? Let me see.
It sounds blown out, man.
It does sound a little bit...
sorry. Let me see.
When you're in your camera, Mike.
Yeah. Bloody hell. Fucking Skype.
There you go.
That's better.
That's much better.
Let's see.
So this guy runs construction projects. I was like, how do you get permission for if you need like suddenly to dig up this part of the road or that part of the road, and you need to do it quickly, and you want to bypass the sorry, yeah, and you want to bypass the 6-month waiting list. He looked at me and said, he explained the corruption that happens.
Oh, yeah.
It's got to be.
You make
so he said,
a leak.
No, so I said, how do you get permission for if you suddenly need out of scope of planning to dig this, and you can't put in an application and wait 6 months because it delays the whole project? So he's senior. He knows people on the local council planning section, and he says, he says, don't quote me on this, Twitch or whoever, but his company went to the local planner's home and resurfaced his whole drive, front and back.
Well, that's the way to grease the wheels, baby.
And then more recently, someone else they gave a car to, they gave a Mercedes to. To which my response, me being naive, that's corruption. He goes, no, it's a donation.
Yes. Isn't that how all of this stuff goes? Isn't that literally how Boris is reupholstering his apartment at the moment? They're all gifts.
I'm naive, though, aren't I? So...
I mean, there's a reason none of these fuckers are ever poor. It's not the government that pays them that much.
No,
but then that's also the point of the disconnect that they have with the regular public too, right? Which they're unaffected by what they're doing currently.
I mean, America has taken it to the nth degree, where if you go to Congress, you get what? You get like 160, 170 grand a year, and do it for like 5-6 years, and you have $5 million somehow, all of them. Which is like, how does that work? Like your pay isn't even that much.
Yeah, right. Pete.
Math is funny.
Yeah,
yeah. We take a zero from you and add it on our end.
Speaking of math, how is the? I was away last week. I was away for a few days within the UK, and
you're allowed to again.
Yeah, we've been allowed to for a while. So went to like a fancy kind of golf resort and playing golf. And my friends I were with, oh my God, were they hammering me. Like, Sandy, should we buy some Bitcoin? Should we buy some Bitcoin? Lunchtime evening. This was last week, whilst it was heading south a little bit.
Oh, it went to shit really bad.
Really bad.
It went to shit really bad. It's coming up again. But then again, usually the weekends are when it falls apart and when I start to follow the trends. But also they were fucking around with the Chinese, and Chinese fucked around because they banned the Bitcoin, right? That's what caused the drop.
That was the big drop, wasn't it?
That was the big drop, and they also wanted to liquidate, like through the anonymous, and I don't know how much truth is on that. They wanted to liquidate one investor's position completely for whatever reason, and that's why they wanted to bring the Bitcoin. The plan was to bring it all the way down to 30K.
Well, it almost got there, didn't it?
It almost got there, but it wasn't enough. And then they did it again, right? Which was another dip that followed in a few days. And I'm sitting here just like, fuck, looking at my phone, because it's just like, I went from 10 grand to 5,700 in
So
in all of my different, like, in all of my positions in different crypto.
But you've got some knowledge and experience of it. My friends know they're well off, but they're well off from medicine, not from like finance or anything like that. So their knowledge of finance, basic finance, isn't great. I get it, and they haven't lived in that world. And they were asking me, they were like convinced that I'm trying to persuade their wives that they're going to buy some Bitcoin like a few weeks ago, but also they couldn't write one line explaining what it is.
Mm. And
my point to them was, don't. If you don't even understand it at a basic level, don't. Or if you want to buy some when if it's properly crashed. But then, as an uninitiated, then you could fine. You're making a little punt. So they were, when we got to the golf resort on Monday, it was still like 50,000, 52, 53,000 K. And they're like, it's come down from 64. I'm like, that's not a crash. They go, it is a crash. I'm like, no. And then come Wednesday, I'm like holding my phone on the golf course going, that's a crash. That's a crash now. Now it's over 50%. You can call that a crash if you want.
Yeah. Yeah, it fucking dipped hard, man. It wasn't fun.
I mean, it's already up to 38K again. So, I mean, make of that
it'll
what
go
you
up.
will.
I'm surprised how Ethereum dropped, because Ethereum was at $4,200, and now all of a sudden it dropped down to, I think, $2,100, $2,300 right now that it's floating.
I think there's multiple things going on, including banks fucking around, governments fucking around.
Yes.
There's also the chip shortage, and Nvidia now saying that their new graphics cards are not going to be able to mine as well on a literal physical level.
Yeah, Elon tweets, exactly.
Yeah,
Musk fucks around quite a bit.
Yeah, that's the uncomfortable bit. So nothing should be beholden to one person.
But it's not. Well, it's a lot of people reacting to one person.
He's just trolling. That's the problem. Like, yeah, he bought a few $1 million worth of Bitcoin and shit, but it's just the fact that, like, the Dogecoin, right, that took off. There is really nothing that makes sense about that meme coin whatsoever. Like, it has no fucking purpose.
Why do people not call it Doggy Coin? Just out of interest.
Because not everybody's British.
Sorry.
It's just, yeah, man. It's interesting how that whole market works. I'm personally staked in Cardano, and I just for the shits and giggles, I bought $121 million tokens of Shiba Inu, which is another meme token. And if that goes to predicted 1% by the end of maybe next year or this year, I will be $1.21 million richer, which is fucking crazy. But it's possible to do, because if Elon starts to promote it, people are going to start FOMOing money into it. And then I'll just take some of it.
Yeah, I don't know. Anyway, I don't know. I don't understand it that well, but I just find it funny when my friends who know nothing about finance,
like, they got their dick hard for Bitcoin now.
Yeah, like seriously hard, and I'm like, you don't even understand basic stock markets. What the hell are you doing?
Yeah, if you want to get into that, like, personally, what I would start, like, that's how I started as well. I downloaded an app called Celsius, and I bought $4,000 worth of Celsius token. Celsius, it's like a staking app, basically, where by just holding that money, you earn 7.6% APY on whatever Bitcoin and 10% on USDC or Tether coin, right? So what I did with the Celsius, I lended myself a quarter of that equity. So basically, I lent myself $1,000 and put it in Binance and started twirling the money around while I'm still making interest on the entire $4,000 in my other Celsius wallet.
So what are the taxes in Canada like on Bitcoin?
It's not settled yet, really. It's not settled yet, really. Like, quite honestly, if you want to bleed the money out of your crypto accounts, then you go through a certain wallet. Then I'm not gonna mention them to promote, but you go through a certain wallet and you just transact money to PayPal, and then you can. There's some wallets that you can do up to 30,000 account if you wanted to as well.
So what's the situation in the? It's same here. The tax status is unclear, I think here.
It's fucking unclear. Like you can like, I guess to be safe, I would tax it as a capital gains, just like you do with stocks. That's basically the same theory that would I guess it falls down under the same bracket because you're essentially fucking gambling with money on stocks, right? But they're cryptocurrency stocks. So they do gain a value much quicker than, let's say, normal stocks. Like, you know, how many years you'd have to wait for Apple to be where it's at, right? Or so Amazon. And also that's a super long position, but also fucking do you know if it's going to go or not, right? There's people that fucking went bankrupt because they invested into AOL, right? America Online was the greatest and whatever. All of a sudden it ain't. Now the Google's there. So... yeah,
well,
there's
also one is an ISP more so, and that.
Yeah, but I think that's the government issues with the cryptocurrency right now is exactly that they don't have a fucking clue how to tax that money out of you.
Well, in America, it's just capital gains,
and that's exactly what I would put it in the bracket here as well as capital gains. And quite honestly, if I leave my money on sitting on, I wouldn't even leave it sitting on PayPal or any of those fiat managing establishments. I'd put it all to Celsius and just gain interest and withdraw money as needed.
Yeah, because then it's just on what you take out.
That's right. And quite honestly, I could loan myself, if I make it enough, that I could loan myself, let's say, if I make up to $400,000 in crypto, which, you know, it's not far, but it is far, because you can, if you catch a good pump, you can make some serious ass money. Then just transfer that cash into Celsius, loan myself $100,000 US. You can comfortably live off of $100,000 US a year.
Yeah, of course.
And pay fucking, what is it?
Unless you have a B&O habit.
Yeah, then money goes quick. But, yeah, that's the crypto is fun times. You gotta, yeah, it's a, for people that don't know nothing about it, I highly recommend stay the fuck away, because if you're not willing to lose the money that you had put in it, it's basically you have to be okay with just taking that exact amount of cash that you're willing to put in the crypto and literally fucking light it on fire in front of yourself.
Exactly right. I think that's
and if you're okay with doing that, then do crypto.
Yeah, so my friends were thinking of taking 50k each sterling.
Fucking hell.
That's
a good starter.
I'm like, okay, go ahead. I'm not.
That's crazy.
Yeah, sure. Maybe play a round of golf over that, see how they feel if they lose.
It's dumb.
No, but that's make one of those bets, like, if I win, then I get 50k. If you win, then you get to keep it.
But, you know, like, if you look at, like, whales like Michael Saylor, right? Like, that guy was fucking rich before the Bitcoin. You know, that's why there's, you know, they have few $1 million positions in the crypto.
Well, also they diversify as fuck.
Oh, yeah.
I mean, it's not one crypto. Also, crypto is not the only thing. Like, I bet you half these people have a fucking empire of property that they could fall back on if they ever hit hard times.
Oh, fuck yeah.
God, I was just listening to. I haven't listened to it for a while. I was listening to a podcast on watches, expensive watches.
Mm-hmm.
Like probably the best website in the world. They do a watch website. They do a podcast. I haven't listened to it for ages. They're talking about. There's been some recent auctions, like in Christie's and Sotheby's, and like watches. So ignore. They're talking about all the stuff, the nutty, rare Patek Philippe's that are going for like
opulous money.
Yeah, one that's this is new. This didn't happen 10 years ago. This is all in the last year. One list price is $3.6 million, and it went for almost double. Anyway, so they were talking about all that stuff. But the depressing thing was they were talking about watches that, when I went through my little phase of buying watches in like 2013, 14, and I had like 7 or 8 watches, and then there were a few others I thought, should I buy like the base one of the basic Pateks and a couple of other brands that you thought, well, yeah, they are difficult to get. You may make a bit of money. Oh my God, they are nuts! Like there was a French brand. There's a French brand I was looking at. They do make really beautiful watches, and they are difficult to get. They're about £16,000 for a watch.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
Which one is it? Audemars Piguet?
Not the Audemars Piguet. This is FP Journe.
Oh yeah.
They do make really. So I was thinking of getting one. There's one particular one they do, which is not their fanciest watch, not with all the complications. 16,000 sterling. And then because they're difficult to get, a couple of people just paid $94,000 in auction for them.
Bloody hell.
So anyway, that's in the space of like 4 or 5-ish years. So 4 or 5 years kind of thing. And that's not like, if you buy a Patek, you generally know you at least won't lose your money. And if it's got a bit of speciality, then,
it's an investment for sure.
Hold it. This was just a not that special, but nice watch. And I guess they went through all the results of these auctions, and their conclusion was there's just a fuckload of people out there with a fuckload of money, and they really care in the end. They're paying 3x, 4x retail for something that's not like
Patek Philippe is definitely one of the things that I would like to own at some point of time in my life. They are unbelievable.
I really don't give a crap for that shit. I mean, watches are even sillier than speakers in many ways. Because if you like when the Veyron launched, right, the Bugatti Veyron, it came with like a special watch that if you sat like that, the watch face was on the side.
So you don't have to twist your wrist when you're bombing.
The fucking watch was 200 grand.
Yeah.
What?
Yeah, 200 grand. They're more now because they only made them one per car or something like that.
Okay, but wasn't that the watch that actually had the whole V12 engine spinning as a mechanism?
I don't know. Conor McGregor, the MMA fighter, just had his own watch commissioned for $1.5 million USD.
I wouldn't pay €1.5 for anything Conor McGregor.
The thing is,
nope.
At the hour, there's like a little window that opens, and there's a dude plowing a chick.
All right, I'll pay €2.5 for that.
That's fucking hilarious. Oh Lord!
But it's like it's like a good million of it is just diamonds. Like there's so many watches over 200 grand. It's insane.
See, I see value not in the diamonds and stuff. Like if you look at Patek Philippe, what the heck was it called? The planetary watch.
Yeah.
Where it had the sky of Geneva over top of basically the sky of Geneva was.
Well, here, look at the watch. It's on the screen now. You probably can't see it, but it has a fucking globe in it, which tells you where the day and night time is of the Earth.
Yeah.
So, like, the globe spins in your watch, so you can see what's in
that one that I'm talking about. Patek Philippe Constellations, I believe it's called.
Oh, that's right. Yeah, that's bonkers expensive.
Oh fuck! I actually had it on my hand. Oh my god, 2006. Because that watch takes 8 years to make. First of all, it's 8 layers of sapphire crystal that spins around, and basically you have to retune the calendar or readjust the calendar by 1 day every 765 years. That's how accurate that mechanism is.
Yeah.
The watch stuff is a bit nutty. So I was mugged for my watch a year ago.
No shit.
I told you I was mugged by the motorbike gang.
Oh yeah, that's right.
That's right. Fucking hell.
That was 15 months ago. That watch, obviously, it's not what I paid for it. That watch is £175,000 now.
Damn.
I hope it was insured, right?
I cancelled insurance. I didn't renew the insurance a month before.
Oh fucking hell!
Because I was about to sell it.
Fuck.
Oh,
what
that's
watch
such a
was
shame.
it?
My dealer had offered me. He'd offered me outright 120, or he said I'll sell it for you on consignment, and you'll probably get like 140 back. And then 2 weeks later, someone, the guys with knives, attacked me and took it.
Fuck off.
Maybe you should sue Mr. Khan for not protecting you.
Yes.
That sucks.
So that's 175,000 now.
God damn it.
Yeah, that was expensive.
Which one was it?
I'm not in front of a computer. It was a Richard Mille.
Yeah, Mikey, pull it up. I want to see.
It's not like they're slightly crazy watches.
Richard Mille, what?
If you type in the Richard Mille RM3501-01.
35-01. Yep, got it. Yeah, that's a nice, intricate watch.
It's the watch that.
That's fucking cool.
It's the watch that Nadal wears.
That is pretty slick, dude.
So it is kind of yeah. Anyway, it's made of like ultra space age materials. It weighs
fuck all, probably.
like almost zero. It's bonkers. In a nuclear explosion, it would survive.
That's crazy.
I can believe that.
So that's the one.
Yeah, that's a shame. That's
what color did you have?
I had let me just see what you're looking at on the screen. Hang on. Let's go back to live.
Oh, there's the black one. You have the.
You see the I had the. See the black one with the red strap.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I think that's. If you click that one. Oh no, that's not it. That's not it. Oh, there. That's my watch. Exactly that.
That's a beautiful watch. I like it.
It was incredible.
Have you ever scoured pawn shops, I guess?
Someone tried to sell it to a boutique in Beirut.
Beirut.
It popped up on it's on the stolen international art kind of database-y kind of thing.
Well,
so
it kind of has to be with that sort of price.
So the boutique, it was like a fancy boutique. They checked the serial number. The person trying to sell it to them wasn't in the store. They'd obviously called or sent them, and then it flagged up. So I woke up on Monday morning. Had an email from the serious crime office here, my dealer, and the database saying your watch did pop up. We told them to grab the watch, but the person wasn't in the store offering the boutique the watch. So it's gone underground again.
I'm totally not surprised by that.
Yeah, irritating.
It always ends up in weird fucking countries. Like, for some reason, a lot of the Dutch people that go to, like, North America for vacation, right, if they have their card swiped or something like that, almost 60% of the time the transactions come back to Argentina or Brazil, which is, you think, amazingly weird, because, like, that's like the other side of the planet but south.
You mean when they have their cards stolen?
Or card details stolen
whilst they're in North America?
Yes. Somehow it always ends up in Argentina or Brazil. like the what you call it, the charges.
Yeah.
That's interesting.
It's never local in America. So there must be groups that set this all up.
So a lot of the scams that happen to UK people are Nigerian.
Mm-hmm.
So 3 years ago, someone bought 5 London to Lagos flights on my credit card at a cost of £1,000 each.
Nice. So they're not flying like some bitches.
But what was interesting was most of the flights they bought, they no-showed. They didn't turn up. One of them they took. Which I was like, what are these guys up to? But they're all London to Lagos.
Well, he figured he'd buy 5 flights. He's going to take one of them. What are the odds? Were they all in the same airport?
Probably scattered around the various London airports.
Yeah, that's what I'm thinking. That's how he got out back to his mud country.
Yeah.
I honestly think it's probably more to do with like international treaties and that sort of thing. Because Argentina and Brazil are a bit iffy still, and it's partially from the late 1940s when certain people went there.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, even the British bank robbers went to Argentina, didn't they?
I think so. One of the famous sets did, yeah. Yeah, I don't know what's happened. So one thing that's happened since the pandemic here is the amount of email and SMS scamming has gone through the roof here.
I got a freaking knock on wood. I don't have I used to get all these Nigerians, the big booty hoes and whatever profiles to like me and sell the pussy and just shit. And it was always something, right? Few of them, I'll play along with it, right? Till they go and ask for money. I'm like, yeah. But I stopped. It completely just fell off for me. And I don't know if it's because I'm not that active on the Instagram, or I don't know what algorithms that they're using, but I don't have that issue anymore.
Oh, everyone here is plagued by SMS scams about you're expecting a delivery.
Yeah, posing as Royal Mail. I just seen
posing as Royal Mail.
We got a lot of Chinese calls and from India. Chinese are specifically targeted for Chinese crowds. They actually start off in fucking whatever language. Chinese, I don't, ching chang chang, fucking oh god, right? So I just hang that shit up. But to Chinese, it's scary because they start off with the threats, right? You have been fucking flagged by government and whatever the fuck they're saying. It's the same thing when you get these people from India calling me here, right? That, my tax is, you've been fraud. And then they ask me what my name is, and I say Ben. And what's your last name? I say Ben Chode, and fuck you. And then I just hang up.
Yeah, they understand that.
And they understand Ben Chode for sure.
Yeah.
So, but we don't get any more of that any here. Say it.
Indian swear word, Mike.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. I know.
You know that.
Oh, yeah. Internet scammers are worldwide.
Yeah, it's just gone nuts. It's gone nuts. The problem, I do feel sorry for a lot of old people will click on these SMS.
Oh fuck! If you're a little bit
and...
with you're not with your senses, I guess, right? And you get an email fucking threaten you or a phone call threaten you, you're gonna be start digging through the cards. I got a couple of those that I'm owing money on taxes. I'm like, all right, let's pay this out. So I think on 5th card that I gave him, he finally gave up. Because you have the club cards in your grocery stores, they all have fucking numbers on them, right? So I gave him my I don't know, the Safeway card, and then I gave him the Shoppers Drug Mart card, and I gave him the London Drugs card. And just to waste his time, because I figured, fuck you, man. I know for a fact that what you do, right, is assholian. So I'll just be as much with you on the phone as I can to prevent somebody else that'll fucking fall for it.
That's good tactic.
So, that's the only thing you can do is waste their time at the end.
I found a pocket watch that's 30 million USD, I think.
Holy shit balls.
Who's it made by?
Berquette Marie Antoinette Grand Complication Pocket Watch.
Okay.
It's like, holy hell, this is intricate.
But that's so intricate you can't even tell fucking time on it, man. You got to look for the handles. Like I used to have a skeleton watch before, long time ago, and it's especially like when you go clubbing and shit, and you're like, I can't tell what the fuck time it is, dude. All it's just movement.
Your brand, Patek Philippe Henri Graves Super Complication. It's only 24 million. It's a pocket watch.
That's crazy, $24 million.
Yeah, this stuff has gone nuts. So it was only, 3 years ago that Paul Newman...
Daytona, 15.5 million, yeah.
Yeah, so the Paul Newman estate, did he die or is he alive?
I have no idea.
He's dead. His sister, I think, basically, the estate said, let's auction it off for charity. And, you're familiar with the Daytonas.
Oh yeah,
yeah, and obviously the Paul Newman kind of.
It's a different one for sure.
Years that particular version of the Daytona, they've all been worth. They've all gone up. For when I started looking at them, like from 50 grand to 100, 200 grand. So he sold us $15.5 million. That happened a few years ago. Then I thought, oh shit, this stuff is going to go nuts.
It's the same with art, isn't it?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. It's become like a very, Damien Hirst kind of Monet type art.
I mean,
well, quite honestly, it's like the best jewelry for men. If you think about it, right? Like chicks can afford with all this jingly shit, but at some point you're gonna look like a dickhead. But if you have a nice watch and a nice suit, you still look good instead of being all iced out like.
Yeah. Well, it's the only jewelry for men. Yes.
That's my opinion too.
Yeah.
I don't know. I tend to break watches and stuff. It's just I'm not much of a watch wearer to begin with.
Well, I've gone Apple Watch now, so I just don't bother. I can't be bothered anymore. Everything else is hiding in the bank in the safe. I can't be bothered with it anymore. There's just too much crime in London, unfortunately.
And you're gonna wear it around the house like a goof, right?
Yeah.
I'm gonna dress up for my kitchen.
That's right.
What's my wear this evening? with my $20 shorts on.
That's right.
So my bit more on brand. My level may be going back.
Why?
What?
Doesn't work for me in my bathroom.
Why is that?
Because I can't keep it plugged into the power.
Also, it just goes to auto standby after a while.
Yeah. So I can't just
Why can you not have it plugged in?
There's no power
sockets.
There's no sockets in the bathroom.
Like you guys have no sockets in the bathrooms at all?
I do.
In England?
You're not supposed to. Most people won't. The odd person will. But if I ask an electrician to do one, he won't do it.
That's fucked up. We have them right against the sink.
How do you charge your electric toothbrush in the UK?
You don't.
There's little shaver.
It's all on the kitchen counter. Fuck.
Have it by your bed. A lot of those plug into like old style shaver sockets, electric shaver sockets.
Yeah.
So those were allowed in bathrooms, but you won't find a UK plug socket in a UK bathroom.
You guys have some fucked up bylaws in there, man. That's just that's retarded. So it's like, okay, well, we're not much for blow drying here, but like if you have a woman that wants to blow dry her hair, where the fuck she's gonna do that? Outside?
Bedroom.
That's
that is
so
weird.
backwards.
Why?
I don't know. We drive on the wrong fucking side of the road. Don't ask me. Don't ask me. And I'm one of the few people in the UK that will concede it's the wrong fucking side of the road.
I would say. But that's just crazy, and even that the electrician wouldn't do it.
Well, I mean, I'm sure you find the odd one that you could persuade, but no, generally they won't do it.
Look for a
Cash
Polish
job.
chap, he'll do it.
So
That's right. And he'll paint it too after. Fuck.
But the upshot is, if I leave the level, even though it's fully charged, if I leave it in the bathroom, not obviously not plugged in, after 15 minutes it goes into standby.
Yeah.
And then the app will see it, but not see it.
Well, it sees it, but it's not available on the network.
It's not available on the network. It basically signs off the network.
Mm-hmm.
Basically means I have to go and switch it on first. It's not really what I want to do.
Get an extension cord.
I was just gonna say, can you run something into the can to like?
Do you have access to the other side of the wall?
I mean, the bedroom's on the other side of one wall. It's possible.
Just drill a little hole.
I've got
where the USB thing fits through.
Fits right through it. Fuck.
I've got 80 days of my 100 days or so left to think about it. But
I mean, also for cable management, it'll be perfect in the bathroom because you can go straight back behind the level.
Yeah.
I've got the fucking wall bracket coming soon as well. Because that... Very annoying. So it's not a problem with the level. Problem with my use case, my situation.
Because surely you're allowed to have power sockets in your bedroom, right?
Yeah, the power socket situation is good here, and they're not halfway up the fucking wall like you have.
At least I can have some in my bathroom.
That's right. Halfway up the wall or not, at least he's got one.
Halfway up. What would I rather have? Halfway up the wall is, I guess you get used to it if you grow up somewhere where they're halfway up the wall.
Well, it's only this place. Like, I've never lived in another place where they were this far up the wall.
So where in your old place, where were they?
Ankle level.
Ankle level.
Yeah.
You need to get your sockets down, man.
No.
Down with the sockets.
Get those down. They.
How many sockets do you have? Like all these awkward places? Are they all of them like that?
Yes. So that's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5.
Oh no.
That's just 6 in the living room.
You're not doing that.
No. I mean the fucking noise and dust, and it's gonna cost me like $2,000 to do it all over the place to even get them down there with all the fucking chiseling and sawing they have to do.
Yeah, that's the only drawback in Euro places, that you guys got these stupid concrete walls. Here, just concrete between...
So most walls are brick, right?
Yes.
And brick is fine, but this building, for some reason, is like steel reinforced concrete. It's a bit of an anomaly.
Is that why you didn't do it when you moved in?
Yeah.
Otherwise, you would have.
Yes.
Right. Okay.
Like if it was brick, then you get one of these builder appliances. They have like 2 round saw blades, and you just and you have your gutter for your cable, and you just like patch it up, and it's fine. But here, like to move that to like ankle level, just that little run is going to take you about an hour, and you need a water cooled saw to do it.
Yeah, that's a surgery.
And water cooled saws and the dust and stuff, it gets really fucking messy.
Well, that kind of shit you would have to do before you put the floor in, because like now you got the water leaking off the wall and shit from the saw.
Yeah,
that's done.
And I didn't feel like spending that much money on moving sockets. It's like,
well, it's not even permanent place anyways. So
yeah,
you do eventually have to draw the line. Well, most normal people, not me, have to draw the line somewhere.
Yeah, I drew the line in this one because I pulled Cat 7 in the, like when I lived upstairs of myself, right? And just like, you know what, fuck this, it's not even worth it anymore. And I don't run that much, I don't run Masterlink at all, really, other than my 9000, but I don't use it at all. Thinking of packing it up, quite honestly, but
how's Eric? Is Eric
busy with kids and that sort of thing?
Busy with kids in life.
I think he changed his mind about his 20s now.
He's
like,
keeping them?
No, he I think for like 2 weeks he thought, oh, yeah, I'll keep them. But I think he was spec gazing or something. And now he's like, I might as well do 28s or something.
Did he hear the 28?
I have no idea. Probably.
Maybe that's probably why he changed it.
He must have.
They're better than 20s. There's no doubt.
But he's got his 20s next to his harmony in his little cinema room, doesn't he?
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
He should just put 28s in there then.
I think
I
so,
think
yeah. Or get 50s.
Because that room's not huge, so I mean, and also look.
No, it's like 3.5 that way and then 6 meters that way.
Yeah, he should get some 28s. He will do.
It's an odd shape room, but it works.
I don't think he would need to go. Well, who am I to say for 50s? But 28s would do it.
Has he got rear speakers in that room, or he doesn't bother?
Yeah, 18s and 17s.
Oh my god, he might be more overkill per cubic square foot than you.
Yes,
maybe.
That is funny. Yeah, probably.
But they're only measly 20s.
Measly 20s. You got measly 9s and 5s and. Ugh.
Don't forget, I have another set of like 3s down there. So, I mean, I literally can't fit any more speakers unless I do WISA, but WISA doesn't work with all the fucking interference.
Yeah, I remember like you had shit dropping out a couple podcasts we were saying, and the light goes on and off, orange, green above your head on that 17.
Yeah, there's like a plant there, and there's a 3 behind it. You can't really see it.
So how many pairs of 3s are in the room? 2?
2. Well, no, 2 3s, but 1 pair.
Oh, 1 pair, okay.
Yeah. So it's 50s, 3s, 17s, 18s.
You're never going to do the rationalization trade, are you?
What do you mean, rationalization?
Get rid of all or most of them and just get a pair of 90s.
I wouldn't. I would be less opposed to that than my other half is.
Really?
Yes.
Which suggests that that idea has been aired and discussed.
Yes.
Gotcha.
Don't get me wrong. She likes 90s. It's just like me. She's like, where it's especially now with all these new fucking laws about the thing you can't talk about on YouTube and Twitch. We're not certain how long we're gonna stay here. And if you have 90s, do you want to fucking lug them around to the other side of the world?
Yeah, okay, fair enough.
Not really. Also, plus with how the room now is situated, we're sort of liking it as is. And with 90s, they would come quite far to the couch, which isn't a space issue necessarily, but it's sort of, I don't know, it's not maybe going to look the best.
They are a little bit obtuse. In their looks, they still look spectacular, but yeah, it depends. Like, and if you're thinking of swapping, that's the same thing. Like, you know, if the COVID never happened, I would have moved to Europe, and my biggest logistic nightmare was, fuck, like, do I keep them or do I sell them and buy them back again, right? Because I could sell them for way more money than I would have to spend to buy them again in Europe, just by sheer default of how much duty and taxes incurred on here, right? Like if I were to go for second-hand pair.
Yeah, so. And also with the harmony, the 50s just kind of looked apart to me.
Yeah, there's no doubt about that.
I mean, I'm not exactly lacking for sound.
No.
No,
yeah, you obviously you watch quite a few movies, as yes. Eric does as well. I mean, I'm a very infrequent movie watcher.
I'm an infrequent movie watcher, but lately, I don't know, I was just on a binge. I watched a couple. If you want to watch something that is really not going to take a lot of your time, Love, Death, and Robots.
It's the second season is out, isn't it?
Yeah, it's fucking awesome.
I watched 1 or 2 of the first season last year. There's not many. There's only like 8 episodes of this one, isn't there?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I watched it at my friend's house, and one of the guys that was over there, he's a graphic designer for like the video and shit. Like he does these CGIs and stuff, or videographer, whatever the fuck. And like he was explaining the complexities of how, like, you know, to fucking film this and render this, and reason why they essentially only came up with so little episodes, right? But it is unbelievable show. I like that. That was good, and that new.
One thing that's also nice here, anyway, with standard cable, almost all providers now do their movies in 5.1 Dolby. So even if you're watching regular TV, it's in 5.1 Dolby if there's a movie on TV.
This has been there forever in here, like that.
We've had that for a while. Not every broadcaster here does it.
It's not everyone, but it used to be. I mean, as with the harmony, you can tell what codec is being piped into it, and then on the app you can see literally the input signal. And before it was a lot of Dolby, but 2.0, and I guess over the last 2 years or so they've started to change that quite a lot. Because before, for any surround sound, Netflix was the place to go. Because Netflix, that's one of the things they do, is the surround sound with movies and whatnot.
Yeah.
I like it.
I wish I watched more movies. I just don't. I'm a bit like you, Willie. I spend 90% of my time on YouTube.
Mm-hmm. Well, yeah, 90%, like, all of my time is almost on YouTube, listen to music, and can watch a whole bunch of different crypto channels to keep educated. I don't lose my fucking money. But
that said, I do something. A few times a year, I'll stick in a Blu-ray. And no, none of my stuff is 4K, but I'll stick in a Blu-ray of something actiony, and then let the sound reverberate around. I mean, I'm not averse to that. My best purchase being all 6 Mission Impossible films for like £30 on Blu-ray. £30. I was like, that's pretty good.
That's not bad.
That's perfect, really.
I love the most recent one, Fallout. It's really great.
I don't think I've seen that.
Is that
yet.
the one with Henry Cavill?
Yeah,
or Cavill, or whatever you
Cavill.
say.
Yeah, it does the job really well as a Mission Impossible film.
For some reason, I think it's the second one with the fake faces that's always sort of bugged me, because it looks so weird when they pull that off.
I remember that.
Do take that technology a little bit far.
Yeah.
Hang on, give me a second.
Was it Mission Impossible or no, the other one that they carved these wooden balls? Premonition? No, what the fuck was the name of that movie? When those 3 chicks were predicting murders before they happened.
Oh, the pre-crime one, Minority Report.
Minority Report. They had AHs as phones.
Did they?
Yeah, in that movie.
Yeah, I remember that.
I haven't seen Minority Report since it came out.
It's actually a decent movie.
I wonder if it still holds up.
It's amazing for how much fun people make of Tom Cruise versus how much the movies actually gross. And they're fairly decent, almost all of them.
Yeah,
he's got good movies. Fuck. I'm looking forward to the Top Gun too. That's going to be interesting.
I kind of want to see that.
He wants that only out in the cinemas, doesn't he?
They said if it can't go on cinema screens, it's going to come to streaming anyway.
So, okay, maybe he's not got full control, because he's been a big advocate, hasn't he, of getting back into the cinema?
Sure, but I think he also can't sit on not returning some money, because I think there was this idea of like we postponed it a year, but like if we can't postpone it any fucking longer, because then what's the point?
It's a bit like the latest James Bond. It's been sat there for a year. Well over a year now, and who knows, they can't make.
Well, what I don't understand, like, what their point is, like, do you think that like people are just gonna fucking like just storm the theaters now when you open them?
Are the cinemas open in Canada?
Dude, I can't even get a fucking haircut now again because the paranoia, right? Like, we're shut down. Because what's her name? The great leader, she fucking cut her bangs. So we got another fucking 2 weeks before we get out of another lockdown. Before the shit grows over her eyes and she looks like a dick on the camera.
Somehow our politician's hair doesn't grow. It hasn't grown in years. It's
right?
always the same
so
length.
It's a fucking bunch of androids with wigs.
So they've been reopened. They've been reopened for a few weeks in England now. A few weeks, yeah.
Well, like, they're vaccinating, which I'm okay, cool. Just fucking inject this shit to everybody and open the fucking economy already. I'm sick and goddamn tired of it all, man. Like, why the fuck can I not have a haircut?
Yeah, not the only one.
Like, where is that? Like, I've never in 20 fucking 3 years that I walked to the same hairdresser gotten sick there. Got sick of fucking waiting. But that's not symptomatic in any way, right? Other than annoyed.
Or maybe it's contagious.
I don't understand. I know, well, it is, because then you're like, fuck, right? Come on. Start looking for eye contact with other people to get angry with over nothing.
Come on, buddy.
So I'm just tired of it, man.
Yeah, it's been boring for
I guess
a while.
we're all lucky that we basically have in-home cinemas.
Yeah, like, I can't believe, like, I struggle to imagine some people, like, in, like people that, let's say, live off of minimum wages. Like, how the fuck do you survive this when all of a sudden, like, you can't go
without
to work?
going crazy, mostly, yeah.
Like, all these bartenders and stuff, like, the amount of PTSD damage that this causes to a fucking human mind to be sitting at home locked down, worrying about where the fuck is the rent gonna come from, right?
I had a new cleaner start. I haven't had a cleaner for a few years, but I had a new cleaner who started last week. And I actually met her when I was having my work done here, and I lived in the Airbnb for 2 months. The landlord sent her a couple of times. Anyway, she gets on well with the dog anyway. So I said, do you want to clean this place? And so she turned up here. So she cleaned last week. It's like, it shouldn't take her 4.5 hours to clean my place. It should take her like 3. But she's fairly pleasant. I was around, but she's not a cleaner. She's just doing this. Been doing this in the last year because her normal stuff has got fucked up.
Yeah.
And I felt really bad. She did like, she goes, oh, it's taking me 4.5 hours. It should only take me whatever. I said, how much money do you want? She was like, $30. I'm like, nah, I can't give you $30 for 4.5 hours work. It's like, take some more.
Well, at least she's an honest person.
That's below minimum wage.
Yes.
She was asking. I was like, no. Well, I really had to force her to take like £45. I'm like, it's just £45.
That's crazy, yeah, but there's a lot of people that are very gravely affected by it.
Yeah.
But
I feel sorry for all the people that actually had a physical business, especially if it was some special...
Imagine owning a fucking nightclub.
Yeah.
You're fucked. Like, there was a Ranchman, which is a legendary nightclub. This goes all the way back to when TVs weren't even on, like, when fucking people rode horses up in here, right? And there was an old tradition that, like, the cowboys during the stampede and whatever, like, they would trade in their saddle, which is fucking few thousand or tens of thousands of dollars, depending on what, right? And they would hang them as a collateral in the bar, and they would drink fucking open bar the entire 2 weeks. And then they would just leave the saddle there, right? And, like, they had so many of them when the place, and then well, it's more or less like it's a city landmark. And when that place sold down, or like they closed it down, like, people actually rushed and they gotten their saddles back and all this shit. But I'm thinking, like, holy cow, man, like, that place I would never think would ever bankrupt in a cowboy country, right? Like, that's nothing but country music and fucking as redneck as you can get. That's what you get in there, other than, swinging on a fucking rocking chair and a shotgun polishing. But it was crazy. So, like, imagine, like, all these people, like these nightclub owners, which they used to make a fucking hand over fist if you think about it. Because nightclub was a really good industry. Like, you open Thursday, Friday, Saturday, Sunday. Some nightclubs went also on Wednesday nights, right? So, and now you have nothing. They're all boarded up. Like, think about all the staff, like the bartenders, like, what the fuck do you do now all of a sudden? Like, Will you go pour Cokes in a fucking A&W or McDonald's drive-through window?
Yeah, somehow only big business is allowed to stay open.
Yeah, which is also silly that
they probably made the right car donations.
yeah. The right resurfacing.
That's right.
A driveway here, driveway there. It's fine. Nothing to see here.
Nothing to see here, people.
Yeah. On that note, I'm gonna give it a call for the YouTube and the Twitchy. Don't forget to like and subscribe, follow, and that sort of thing. And see you all in the next one. And there's no outro as per usual. Bye.
See you later.